see you.
Claude, I didn't realize you were here already.
Mr. Lefebvre and Mr. Marat arrived on an earlier plane. Please, make yourselves comfortable.
Eddie Loomis, Madame Vork. This is my Uncle Victor, my cousin Claude Marat, and his wife Denise.
Pleasure.
Oh, we mustn't be too hasty. And, Mr. Loomis, may I remind you, this is a family matter.
But Eddie is my fiancé. And besides, he was a friend of Tom's.
A friend of Tom's?
Well, that's fitting. After all, we are here for a seance for poor, dear, dead Tom.
If you're not a believer, you have no place here.
On the contrary, Madame Vork, in spite of your influence over my niece, I am the executor of her trust. As such, I may not be able to stop her making a fool of herself, but I can prevent her from being swindled.
Uncle Victor, please.
Are you calling me a swindler?
Well, you must admit that you are the prime suspect, what with your seances and your floating trumpets and spook shows and whatever. Not to mention you're convincing my niece that her twin brother is trying to contact her from the world beyond.
But Tom is. At least I think he is.
But you've had other seances with Madame Vork, and nothing happened.
Denise has a point. What makes you think that Tom will contact us here on Fantasy Island? Or perhaps we should ask that of our host, Mr. Rourke.
Perhaps you should, Mr. Lefebvre. Your niece's fantasy was to find a place where the psychic emanations of her late twin brother would be comfortable.
And you found such a place?
Oh, we found such a place, Mr. Lefebvre. And I'm afraid before I allow any of you to go there, I must warn you that you could be probing into areas where perhaps mortals were not meant to probe.
You do that very well, the ominous warning. I think we'll risk it.
In that case, I'll arrange this afternoon to have you taken to the other side of the island, where this house is located.
Oh, my God. That's the house where Tom and I grew up. It burned to the ground when we were 9 years old.
Indeed. Until this afternoon there. You will be completely isolated here. I hope this house is as you remember yours.
It is. It's exactly like the house we grew up in. That was my room up there. Tom and I used to play.
There is still time to cancel your fantasy, Miss Conti.
Claire, maybe we should. This whole thing, I just don't like it.
No, Eddie. If Tom's ever going to reach me, I think it'll be here.
Incredible. This place gives me the creeps. We played football right here.
Seems you're quite a magician, Mr. Rourke.
Magic, Mr. Lefebvre? I'm just a man who fulfills fantasies. Nothing more. Enjoy your stay. Tattoo?
Good day.
He's here. I'm certain your brother is in this house.
Claire, don't you realize what nonsense this is?
All I know is that Tom wants to speak to me.
And if he does, what will he say? He was a degenerate gambler, staggering under a morass of debts.
I realized that Tom was in trouble, Uncle Victor. But I also know that he wouldn't commit suicide.
Mr. Lefebvre, with all due respect, I don't think this is the time to bicker.
Oh, really?
Ed is right. We've come this far. We should get on with it.
Madame Vork?
Tonight, midnight, the seance will begin. Tom Conti, I know you are here. I feel you are here. Tom, your dear twin sister is with us. She wants to talk to you.
Well, the next on the program is floating trumpets and perhaps a phosphorus dip sheet.
Shh. Tom? Tom, can you hear me? There's nobody here. Murdered. Tom said he was murdered. Madame Vork, are you all right? She's drenched. She's dripping wet. And she smells like seaweed.
I'm all right. You saw Tom. You all saw him. You heard him.
I heard him. He said murdered me.
He was here.
This is all crazy. Now, Tom committed suicide. And besides that voice that we heard, nothing more than a mumble.
He wants to tell his sister more. There must be another seance. His spirit will not rest until he speaks again.
He did say he was murdered. Maybe what he wants to tell you is by whom.